Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on a 2014 Dodge Grand Caravan, and this customer wants us to replace his factory crappy head unit with a Pioneer AVH 211EX. Not a whole lot of introduction required. Let's get right into the job. This customer is one of those customers that we all know and love. He's got Realtree decals, he's got funky decals all over his vehicle, and of course the defining characteristic is the seat covers. We all know what type of customer this is. Anyways, let's get inside and see what we can see. So upon further inspection, it has come to my attention that perhaps there's actually an issue with this vehicle because the factory head unit doesn't actually even power up. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this radio location and see what's going on in behind. I'm going to make sure that there's power and data back there so that when we replace this with the RP4 CH11 that everything's going to go fine. So let's tear this dash apart and see what we find out. So some of my viewers have actually mentioned that they'd actually like to see more of the actual disassembly and reassembly processes. I typically edit that part out, but I'll show you guys exactly what's going on here. So the first thing we need to do is actually remove this trim bezel that's going around the factory head unit right now, and that just pops off. There's no screws or anything holding it in place. It's all held in with retainer clips. So I'll go ahead and remove that. Once that trim bezel has been removed, you can see that there's 4 screws, one on each corner of the factory head unit location. So I'll remove those 4 screws, and then this deck literally just slides right out. On the back of the head unit, you can see that we've got our main power cable on the left, which carries all of our audio signals. We've got the center plug there that carries data information on it. We've also got the AM/FM radio antenna, as well as the satellite radio antenna. And this is what we're left with when we're done removing the stereo. So I'm going to grab my multimeter real quick, and I'm just going to test and make sure that we've actually got power and ground at this location. And then I'll plug in the RP4 CH11 and see that it powers up to make sure that we're actually getting data signal as well. Okay, so just to test to make sure that everything is going to work fine after we've installed our new head unit, we just have to check on a couple of power and ground situations. We want to make sure that we have 12 volts on the main battery constant wire. And as you can see by my multimeter right there, we do. We also want to check and make sure that we have ground. So if I probe this wire, if you hear a tone coming from my multimeter, that means that we have good ground. So there we go, that's a good sign, we have ground. So then the only other thing that we need to make sure of is to make sure that we actually have accessory power. So that's this red wire coming from our data module, the RP4 CH11. And we just need to make sure that we've got 12 volts there with the key in the on position. So all I need to do to make sure that this module is actually powering up is by making sure that it has the data signal coming from the vehicle telling it to turn the accessories on. This accessory wire right here is the one that we need to make sure that it's still working. So we can just touch that and we can just check the multimeter right there, and we're getting 13.32 or 34 volts coming out of our accessory, so that's good. This module is powering up, it's good. We can go ahead with this installation and everything's going to be fine. So even though this vehicle came in with its factory radio not working, I'm about 99.9% confident that once we're done with this installation, this head unit's going to work just fine as it's leaving. We've tested all of our power and ground. We've made sure that everything is good as far as that's concerned, so this data module should work no issue. So all we have to do now is connect the harness for the Pioneer head unit to the data module, and then we need to mount our head unit to the aftermarket dash kit so that it can be mounted inside the vehicle. Of course, then we need to mount and run the wiring for the Bluetooth mic. And then after we've tested our steering wheel controls and made sure that everything is working great, this job will roll. Alright, so there we go. After a little bit of sub-dash modification, we were able to slide in this Pioneer double-din. Steering wheel controls functioning on the back of the steering wheel. And we've got our Bluetooth mic up in the headliner, like we always do. Cable nicely tucked away up in the headliner. This is not how we do remote starter antennas. That's not our job. That's not my install, so normally that would be at the center of the windshield and tucked away a lot nicer than that. But yeah, so 2015 Dodge Caravan, factory head unit came in not working, leaving with the Pioneer 211EX. Everything functioning better than good. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Throw me a thumbs up. If you want to see more content just like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notification bells. Alright, that's it for me. I'll see you guys on the next job.